I live in a small village in Cumbria, in the Lake District, a place called High Nibswaite. And I've been living there for about 25 years. And soon after moving there, I was taught to make these very traditional Cumbrian oat swill baskets. It was made by a man called John Barker, who had himself been apprenticed into the industry in the 1930s. He was one of the last swill makers still left who could sort of pass on his knowledge and his secrets. So I feel quite privileged to still be continuing a tradition sort of from within the tradition. What's a swill maker? Swill maker, well, it's a basket. It's an oval-shaped basket. It's a frame basket, so it's a hazel rod which has been steamed and bent into an oval shape, and then young coppiced oak trees are cut and they're cleft into quarters and then boiled in water for several hours, and then hot from the boiler I can then, starting a split running with a knife, I can half and half and half until I get strips of about from a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch thick. The shorter lengths are for the ribs of the basket, and the longer, thinner lengths are for the weavers. And these ribs and weavers are woven around this oval hazel frame, and they've been traditionally made in that area, in the Furness area, High Furness Fells, for centuries. Well, no, I'm on this machine called a mare, a swiller's mare, which is like a foot-operated vice. I'm sitting on one end, and there's like a head which is hinged, and I push my feet, and the head comes down and clamps the piece of work, a bit of oak, between this head and a flat plank. And so it traps it, and that allows me to shave it with a two-handled draw knife. And what I'm doing, I'm dressing a set of spells, or the ribs of the basket. I've been cutting my own wood for sort of over 15 years, and that's become a very important part of the whole process. The fact that I can go and select and fell my own raw materials, so I do every part of the process myself, from the standing tree to here. I'm reading from this little sign here. It says, "To be sold at the house of Mrs. Taylor of Thwaite Moss on Friday in November 1807, a valuable parcel of coppice wood called High Crag. Estimated to 9 acres. Well, I'm cutting that again. That's 2011, so it's been continually cut. I mean, there has been in the post-war years, there's been it's sort of stopped really, so there hasn't really been cut for about 60 or 70 years, so it's actually got a bit too big, so it is sort of slightly out of rotation. But it's nice working that wood, and you do feel as though you're treading a journey of ghosts, other people who were working beforehand. You're sort of unearthing their workings and their pathways and their trackways, and so that sort of from a sort of a heritage point of view, I enjoy that, and also it's important to me. I'm trying to leave the woodland oak for another generation of swill makers, so it's important that it regenerates with sort of young oak trees.
Well, we're coming over to the main arena now to see Alan and the birds from Lear and Falconbury.